Live from the Export Beer Garden studio, this is the agenda for Thursday, February 2nd.
The Agenda, an alternative commentary collective podcast.
G'day there, welcome along to the Agenda podcast with myself, G Lane, and James McOnie. G'day, James.
How's it going, G Lane? Great to be here. First podcast of the year.
Good to see you.
Yeah, great to see
you. You know, can you say Happy New Year? You're allowed to say that in February, or is that the rules?
I got a few Happy New Years from out there in the ACC Hodaki bullpen.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, they were loving it. They just felt so naughty, like, I'm saying Happy New Year in February. Look at me. And I accepted it because, you know, it's a new beginning. It's a fresh start.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think the rule is if you haven't seen the person for the year, you're allowed to say it. Mm-hmm. But from about early February onwards, you got to ditch it.
Yeah, zip it.
Yep, zip it. Let's get straight into the first item on the agenda. Holy shit! The Black Caps. Look, you know, the Black Caps Supporters Support Group is a growing group, founded by Matt Heath, myself, and Jeremy Wells and Paul Ford a number of years ago after we were hurt by the Black Caps throughout the 90s and early 2000s. Mm-hmm. And great performance in Pakistan. Should have won the Test series, but didn't. Won the one days. Gone to India. Couple of decent performances, but then a couple of absolute shockers, including last night's result. At least they could have done, Black Caps, was get 69.
Yeah.
They're all out for 66.
Come on,
Well,
help us out.
on, man.
Help us out now.
Throw us one bone. India get, 234 in their 20 overs, and we get bowled out for 66. Just give us one thing. Give us 69, for fuck's sake. One thing. But not a great tour, you'd have to say, of India. But they're back home in the next couple of days, and in 2 weeks' time they take on Pink Balls. They take on Baz's Pink Balls in Tauranga.
How did we get? Oh no, Bazball's coming. How did we get eliminated in the T20 World Cup? What was the? Was it Pakistan?
No, we didn't we make
Pakistan?
Oh, we made the semi, didn't we?
Pakistan.
We made the semi.
Pakistan.
Yes,
Pakistan,
right. Yeah, that's right. Pakistan came and worked us hard, but you know, because it's the Black Caps Supporters Support Group, we've actually launched a new T-shirt, a new design.
Oh, okay.
You can pre-order on the shop. It's great. We can hedge. We basically hedge. When the Black Caps are doing well, you know, see the ship hats fly out the window, fly out the door. Everything's great. Everything's hunky-dory. When they struggle a little bit, we sell Black Caps Supporters T-shirt.
Yeah, it's as long as you're able to monetize it, G Lane, I'm happy for you, and that's great. Well, I think that there's always, you take out a few of those key players, and this is really stating the obvious, and I hate to say it, it just means that we're all susceptible to the capitulation, or as the mainstream media would use it on their headlines, black collapse.
Black collapse.
That's what they like to do. But I honestly think that T20 is a massive lottery, and if it comes off, you just look like an absolute genius and a hero. So as far as T20 series, I'm not counting them like one-day series and test match series. I'm just like, okay, fine.
It's a hit and giggle.
Yeah. Well, it's still, I mean, I know it's important and you make the most money from it. That's all right, but it's pretty much that thing where you could send out an old Gentle Annie washing machine on spin cycle.
Do they still make Gentle Annies?
I don't know if they do. Do they do a top loader? Are you a top loader?
I'm a front loader.
Are you like the front load?
I'm a front loader.
I thought you would be.
Yeah.
So,
are you a top loader?
Well, yeah, it uses a bit more moisture, there's a bit more lubrication required, but still.
And the top loading.
Oh,
you're a classic top loader, aren't you?
Well, it's all I can afford, G Lane. It's the top load life.
You can't tell me that a front loader is the sign of a successful life. If you're front loading as opposed to top loading.
I've got a top loader that won't die. In fact, it was flooded this week.
Is it a Maytag?
No, it's not one of those. It's a Simpson. It's Australian. It's like, I'm not going to die. Bring some floods. I don't care. Bushfires. I'll survive. And so this Simpson top loader, which is crumbling, is still working as a washing machine. But I haven't tried it since the floods, and so I think this flood might have been the RIP to the top loader. So I'm going to go front loading from now on, G Lane.
And the best thing about front loading is you can see what you've done and what you haven't done. For example, my brother, when I went out, my brother got him absolutely steamed. He's a few years older than me, and we smoked a cigar together, and he's so cheap that he stubbed his down out halfway and put it in his pocket and saved it for later. Forgot about it, got hammered, went home, dropped his clothes all through the house. His wife picked them up and threw them into the front loader. And basically, when she turned it on, she saw his pants and like a brown log going round the clear front.
God.
And she beat him with an inch of his life because she believed he'd shat his pants. And he's like going, no, it's a cigar. It's a cigar. Shut up.
Okay, right.
So, yeah, front loader.
Front loading, you can see, and it makes a very satisfying sound. It's quite soothing. It's one of those things like, what's it called? Is it ASMR where people put little noises and stuff on? I think you could put
get that.
You can put a front loader on. I reckon it'll put you to sleep. A good front loader, not a crappy one, because it's got a nice soothing action. And like you say, you can see it. It's before the days of apps. That was the entertainment. If there's nothing on TV, you watch your front loader.
Yeah.
That's pretty much it. And if you can, and that's why front loading. I'm coming full circle,
yes,
so to speak, back to saying front loading is going to be my future.
Well, I've heard in India they bet on front load viewing. They can bet. They bet on things going round. So they all sit around and watch front loader.
Cigar or turd.
Which is and they bet on the outcome of the front loading.
Well, we were talking about washing machines.
Well, because you were saying that you could send out a gentle Annie out into the middle of a T20 match.
With a bat, and it would still probably score a good 50 if there's a chance on spin cycle. Because you imagine the bowler coming in and going, "What the shit? That gentle Annie's still spinning." And that bat is just, you'd have to tilt it a little bit on a 45, and then the bat's just going, and it's like, and he's going, oh shit, where do I bowl? And then gentle Annie's
short.
It is
gentle Annie's, I'd hate it short. They'd hate it short because
I'd still get it. No,
is it helicopter? Is it going that way?
It's helicopter.
Oh, okay. So
but it would almost ramp it, like, because it would come in short, and then it would just get it at the top, and then just ramp it up for six.
So it's a fan.
Yeah,
the bat's going round in a fan.
The bat as a fan would do just as well as most batters in T20. Yes.
Wow. Yeah. How some of the Black Caps T20 batsmen are performing. I'm gutted for them because.
You'd say Gentle Annie's better than them.
So, yes, at the moment.
Yeah, okay.
At the moment, I think the Gentle Annie is showing better form. But disappointingly, this is their chance for IPL. This is basically their dress rehearsal for a role in the IPL, and about the only one that's stepped up actually is Mitchell Santner and son of a Mitch.
Yeah, Santner has proven himself. I think taking the test duties away from him has been perfect because now he's playing for his career, his life, whatever you want to call it, his livelihood. And so Santner's going, right, well, this is my thing. I've got to be the best at this. And he's bloody high level, right?
Yeah.
We're looking at high level Santner right now because everyone talks about him being the best at everything in the team. He's great at golf.
At darts.
He's good at cards.
Great table tennis.
Yeah, he's a wonderful cook, makes a lovely casserole.
Best at massaging, got the biggest dong.
Can fit down, if he was to be Santa, can fit down a chimney.
Yep,
he's very slim.
Yeah.
Okay, we get it. Eyesight not so great though, but everything else really good. But now he's showing it with the ball. Can you tell us about son of a Mitch? Because I haven't seen the innings, but I love the fact that he's scoring. Boss.
Yeah, he is. He's bossed it, and he's bossed it in his last 12 months. Has been his purple patch, son of a Mitch.
England Test series. Yeah, just a pièce de résistance.
So he's look. You can't go wrong with son of the Mitch at the moment. He's even bowling well. He's even getting wickets, son of a Mitch. But it's all. I feel it's so weird that we've had no home international since that rained out. Was it the Pakistan series or was it India? I can't remember. Was it pre-Christmas? We haven't had anything. We've had it for like 2.5 months.
India came.
2.5 months. We've had nothing.
Didn't they just stay in a hotel the whole time?
Yeah, because it rained the whole time. Like the story of this summer. But England are here in a couple of weeks and roaring straight back into it with some pink ball action in Tauranga, starting on the 16th of February, I think. So, and old Baz is out. So that's going to be good. I think we discussed it last week around, big swinging Southie versus Baz ball. So
before we move on to that England series, G Lane, I'm very keen to hear thoughts. We probably need to say Shubman Gill. Bloody freak.
The Chub Man. Yeah, well, they got freaks all over the place, don't they?
But before
it's not Chub Man, it's someone else.
I know, but I'm just saying he's the latest now that it's like Carlos Brathwaite. Remember the name. So Shubman Gill now is the guy that you're shitting your pants about.
The Chub man. He was always classy, and Jason Hoyt will tell you over and over again. He commentated the Under-19 World Cup and saw Chubman as a 18-year-old, and he craps on about it, almost like he coached him.
He claims him as his own.
Correct. A bit like Chapman, Mark Chapman. He umpired Mark Chapman in schoolboy cricket and claims him as his protege, even though he just umpired Mark Chapman.
Okay.
And
it's a bit excessive, and he probably turns up at the Chapmans for Christmas and stuff like that.
And they go, "Who is this creep?
Yeah.
Who's this creep?"
Outside the window.
Is that? Oh, he's not doing that thing again with his. Oh, gross! Get him out of here.
So Shubman Gill, yes, we have seen now he is pretty much their number one big star, because Virat, against New Zealand, he's not necessarily. I mean, in the past, but I'm just saying, like this past series, and maybe he just feels like he's mortal.
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, especially when he's away from India. When he's at home, he's pretty unbeatable, the Rat. He's still. They just got so many good players; it's impossible to keep up.
We dismissed New Zealand. Sorry, dismissed.
You got Yadav. I mean, for Christ's sake, he's a freak as well.
Well, I remember when Virat was dismissed cheaply in the first one day, and I put on the WhatsApp group.
Oh.
Are we going to put a post up about Virat? And Joe Jury was miles ahead of me, but he said, I'll tell my mum to brace herself for some criticism online, a few unsavoury comments, because
it was when Satner clean bowled him. He clean bowled him with a beautiful left arm orthodox spinner, clean bowled Kohli, and I was in the same text thread because Joe goes, "Oh yeah, I warned my mother that there's a pack of Indian dogs about to come and do some terrible things to her."
Yeah,
and he put the Tiger King meme up again.
It's a person on a leash.
Yes,
and so Virat is his face goes on the leash person.
Yes, yeah.
And then who's the holding the leash?
She's the Tiger King lady. What's her name?
Carol Baskin.
Carol Baskin. Yeah, it's Carol Baskin and her husband. And it's so funny because he goes, "It's live," and then you look at the DMs on the ACC Instagram and Facebook. Ding, 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 ding. It's. I mean, it's too easy, but it had to happen. It had to be done. And Joe, bless him.
Shubman kept that. I can't remember whether it was that innings or another one, but anyway, somebody from their team just carried on going. But what happened? We got just roundly abused, really, on the ACC.
Yeah, and a lot of it involving dogs. Like a lot of people threatening to do stuff with dogs to our mums and our loved ones. It's kind of weird, but kind of funny as well, I think. And then, I mean, to be honest, looking into it, we've gone into stalked a few of them, and they're very, very young. Like we're talking 13, 14-year-olds. So, but it's fun.
Can we also talk about, I guess at some point it's coming up. Yeah, now's a good time to talk about it, G Lane. That Chris Ratu from the Herald vomited on his keyboard this week, and the IT department at NZME are not happy because he's vomiting on his keyboard again.
Oh, they've got plenty of keyboards. I've seen them.
Right?
Yeah, there's heaps of them.
I know Rats, lovely man, and I said I was looking at it going. He said Razor's not the right man for the.
Yeah, massive hot take. Massive hot take.
What he does is he sees the tide and he goes, "Oh, that's the tide. I might go against that tide, actually."
Oh, totally.
I've got an argument for that tide. Here we go.
What do you think I could do just to rub everyone up the wrong way?
Yeah.
Razor is useless. There you go. Done.
Yeah.
Done. Hey, you're going to move into the Aussie Open. Djokovic beat Kokkinakis. No, not Kokkinakis.
Tsitsipas.
Tits and ass.
Kokkinakis was taken care of by Andy Murray. He took Kokkinakis and took him all the way to, I think, into 4 sets or 5 sets, took Kokkinakis down and spat him out.
Yeah. Well, the reason I got confused with Kokkinakis and Kyrgios, because I'm just getting into that Breakpoint. Have you seen that? The Netflix series made by the same people who have made Drive to Survive for Formula One.
Yeah.
First step of that was all about Kokkinakis and Kyrgios winning the doubles in the Aussie Open last year. And interesting, but Kyrgios still comes across as a bit of a dick.
They're all boring, mate. Look, honestly.
But but then I'm just going to say, but I've watched the other episodes are getting better because they're following up and coming.
Yes.
who haven't won slams.
That's
quite interesting.
So there used to be, before frickin' Drive for Life or whatever, there were sports documentary serials or shows before, and one of the best ones followed an American journeyman doubles player on the circuit. He never knew where he was staying. He never knew if he had enough money to catch a flight.
Yeah.
He didn't know who he was playing doubles with. It was like going to a school dance and going, is anyone going to, it's a partner dance, I need someone. And so he would turn up all around the world. He'd know all the top guys. They're like, oh, Pete Sampras, yeah, man.
G'day, Dave.
Yeah. How's it going? Yeah, good. And then Pete would hop in a limo and go off to his hotel, and he'd go to a backpackers. It was the best fucking thing. So for them to come and get, these are the top guys, I know exactly what it's going to be like. And I'm glad you mentioned the young guys, because to be honest, the further down is where you get the stories in tennis. Don't at me.
Yeah. It's good because it follows. And there's few. I think they follow. They're in the top 10, top 20, but none of them have won a Grand Slam. So they're all desperate to win Grand Slams, and it's just their, And it is quite a depressing life. Talking about there's always way more losers than there are winners. Only one person wins, but there's about 120 losers who move to the next tournament and lose again, and then lose again. So it's just losers everywhere, and how it just fucks with their head because you lose more than you win. And you've got to try and get your head around that, unless you're Djokovic or Nadal or whatever, that you're just losing the whole time.
Well, when you talk to some of those the lower ranked players, some of them have kind of like almost a it's not a mentoring, it's a buddy system with a successful player.
Yeah.
So, like for example, I can't remember who it was. There was one player who spoke really highly of Sharapova because she'd just throw her a racket and some strings every now and then, and have my leftover strings, because
or my like $10,000 diamond earring.
Yeah, exactly. Or you want a grip? Here you go. So that all this kind of stuff, like it's like being a sponsored child on the circuit with all these multimillionaires buzzing around, but you're playing for just peanuts really, and you need one of those players to just go, oh yeah, you need some, oh yeah, here we go, and then here's some shoes.
So I'd recommend it, giving it a watch. The first step's okay, but Kyrgios is just a bit of a dick. But it's also interesting about how they deal with pressure and stuff, and on match point. And like talking to one of the American guys, it's like when you reach match point, you're like, don't fuck this up, don't fuck this up, and it's going through your head, don't fuck this up, don't fuck this up. And you're like, fuck, and then you go for it and fuck it up. It's like they're pretty honest about how the nerves take over, and the mental side of it is just next level, and how they can just fall apart in the game and then just lose 2 sets in a row, 6-love.
I think that probably, a lot of the players have talked about, well, the top players anyway, that beating a guy like Djokovic and Nadal, like mentally, is just so tough because they're always in the zone. Yeah. And Djokovic uses different ways that even the commentators are onto it now. They say, he sometimes will do this, and just to sort of reset. Yeah. And the mental side of it's crazy. Djokovic, we need to probably it's on the agenda anyway. Talk about how many he'll win. I just want to say that currently I think we're in a 4 equal GOATs state at the moment. I think there's the OG GOAT, which is Rod Laver. He won 2 calendar Grand Slams. He's from our parents and grandparents' generation. Still alive, old Rod, Australian.
Is he?
Yeah, he's still there. Is he?
Is he?
And then you've got...
I just presumed he's dead.
Then you've got Federer, who's the grass court GOAT and changed the game sort of GOAT. Like he pretty much just dragged it into the 21st century, and he's a GOAT. And then there's Nadal, the clay court GOAT. Yep. And he's got 22 Grand Slams. And then you've got Djokovic, the hard court GOAT. He's got 22 as well.
Hard what GOAT? Hardcore GOAT.
Hardcore GOAT.
He's into hardcore.
He's into hardcore.
Yeah,
GOAT. Yeah, GOAT action. And he...
Grow up.
He's got 22... Yeah, everyone out there, you're saying, aren't you? Yeah. People.
Grow up.
Come on.
Come on, man.
Just give us a chance.
Yeah.
He's got 22 Grand Slams as well. I tried to do a graph at Crowd Goes Wild the other day trying to work out who is the GOAT, and it was too hard. It was pretty much... I needed the red string, like Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
Oh, yeah. Wind's gone crazy. But he's not slowing down, though. This is the thing. Djokovic, he looks in good nick. Well,
this
is the problem. He could get 26, 27, 28.
I think that's the thing. I think he needs that many to be the official GOAT. I don't think one more, even though people will say statistically he's got the most, so he's the best. I think he actually needs about 4 more, because when you're not having to play against Federer and Nadal's kind of hobbling around with one wing, then
that's all he needs, though. Yeah, he needs one.
He's got a double-handed backhand, mate.
Oh,
I'm
true.
sorry.
Okay,
but
sorry
sorry.
Sorry.
But
he does have one arm bigger than the other, and we all know the reason for that. And it's not tennis. It's not tennis.
It's massive exercising.
Yes,
exercise.
Yes, correct.
So the thing is, that's where it's at. I think Djokovic can win another 4 or 5, and then everyone will just say, I'll slam it down and say he's the GOAT. And I'm not sure where New Zealand's Anthony Wilding is on that list, but he was bloody good until he died in World War I. R.I.P.
Okay. Campbell Johnston becomes the first All Black to publicly come out as gay this week. It's quite funny because for me it's a very generational thing. Like, working in media, seems like everyone's gay.
Yeah.
But no one actually cares.
Yeah.
And it's not a big deal. But obviously in rugby, it still is a fairly big deal.
Yeah.
But is it a big deal to the current players, or is this a generational thing where, all your old guys in the rugby club, kind of thing? Like, you know what I mean? For me, I think it's great. I think it's great he's done it, and I think good on him. It's a pretty brave thing to do, given the kind of fuckwits high up. Older rugby heads will be like, I always knew.
Well, I don't know. For people who think that way, and who say that kind of stuff, I like to think that there's somebody in their family dragging them, dare I say it, into the 21st century again, because it's just it shouldn't be an issue. I remember when Jason Donovan sued the tabloids for saying that he was gay, and I don't know, there was a big deal being even called that back in 1990 to him.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, who cares? Even then I was just going, so what?
Yeah.
What does it even matter? No one, you can just say, no, I'm not. And then we just all move on.
Yeah.
But this is I'm happy for Campbell Johnston. I think he'll make a big difference to a lot of young players who are battling with their identity and their sexuality. So I applaud him. I reckon that it's one of those things that hopefully, I think if a player were to come out, a current player, it just wouldn't be a massive deal. And I'd like to think that New Zealand would be one place where it would be just absolutely fine.
Yeah, totally. That's what I was kind of getting at. That's what I was kind of getting at. It's just no dramas.
Yeah.
There's no major issue. But I mean, good on them, because obviously there is a bit of a stigma attached to it with a certain generation.
Yeah.
Well, like you're saying, you'd hope that you drag them kicking and screaming, but it's pretty hard.
Yeah,
it's pretty hard. I mean, yeah. I'm talking boomers here.
Well, how much at an average family function, depends on the family, of course, how much casual homophobia, racism do you let go through to the keeper, or do you actually go, hold on a second, you can't say that, and I hope to hell that you don't think that, because it's embarrassing, but then you know what I mean.
Yeah, well, they try and most of them try and do it just because they think they're trying to be funny.
Yeah, that's their go-to, isn't it? Yeah.
Anyway, good on him. It was All Black number 1,056. Played 72 times for Canterbury, 38 times for the Crusaders. Man, I tell you what, he's lost a bit of weight. He's looking good. Could hardly recognise him from his playing days.
The props go well in retirement, I've got to say. Yeah. Like Richard Lowe, in good nick. You look at the reunions. There's only a few who blow out, and wingers go way bigger.
Yeah,
the fast twitch guys, they they can't help it.
Look at Fozzie.
Fozzie was in the back line. Apparently, my old mate Brent Ward is looking quite cuddly these days. Sorry, Wardy, if you're not.
We can't say about Wardy.
Wardy, what a good man.
But like Silver Fox though, Campbell Johnston, because I looked at his play profile, and he's a prop. He's got a shaven head. He's got no neck. And then I saw the article and I was like, shit, he's scrubbed up. He's looking sharp. He's looking trim.
Yeah.
And he's a bit of a silver fox. Good on you. Zoi Sadowski-Synnott, shit the bed. How awesome's she?
Amazing.
Another last run gold medal. No, like, do they feel pressure? Those winter athletes, because they're so relaxed. They're all such good mates, and they're high-fiving each other, and they're on the circuit, and it always just seems like they're having a good time, and you can throw down your last run to win, and it doesn't seem like it's, if they come second or third, it's no big deal. It's almost like there's no pressure. It's like, well, fuck it, I'll just throw down a perfect run.
It's one of the only sports where you see athletes celebrate losing, where they're going, yeah!
And they're so stoked for the other competitors.
Yeah, that's right. They're just, that was amazing. And so, right, I'm off the podium now. Okay, cool. Doesn't matter. What did I just see?
Let's go party.
Yeah. And so I reckon that we were talking about the tennis players and the mental side of it. I think the coping mechanism for those snow sport athletes is loosey-goosey. Keep it, you put the old headphones on. I'm just going to do that thing that I do, get into the zone, because I am really risking life and limb. You look at what they do; it's bloody ridiculous. She is amazing. Nico Porteous isn't far behind, really, but she is our greatest already. Best in the world. We've never had this. It's like when I was a kid, it was Simon Wirutini, Claudia Riegler, and then Annalisa Coburger came through. The burger, and won a silver in the swishy slalom thing.
Yeah, the slalom swishy thing is so boring though. That's so dull compared to what these guys do. I don't understand how they come up with new tricks. Yeah. Like, is there someone sitting there going, I reckon you need to do a couple more twists, couple more flips, maybe grab the board, poke your tongue out. Like, how the fuck do you come up with the new tricks?
Hey, don't underrate slalom, mate. There's a lot of there's a
lot
of ins and outs.
Slalom sucks.
There's a lot of ins and outs to slalom.
Go between some flags.
Oh shit! You stop stamping over the gag. It's just one gag, G Lane. There's a lot of ins and outs to slalom.
Oh fuck! Okay, sorry.
Fuck. What? It's like it's there. It didn't land. No. It didn't land at all, but anyway.
Okay. Hey, Super Bowl's coming up. The Eagles versus who's the other? It's Eagles versus
the Chiefs.
The Chiefs is coming up, and we're throwing Auckland's. Well, it's turned into New Zealand's biggest Super Bowl party at Sweatshop Brew Kitchen.
Yep.
It's going to be a biggie, actually. You better book your table now. Just text NFL to 3236. I think it's almost full, but everyone who attends goes in the draw to win return flights to LA. Thanks to Grab a Seat.
Shit, that's good.
Yeah, and alongside the TAB, we'll be hosting that party from midday on Monday, the 13th of February. Always a good way. I always find Super Bowl Monday. I don't follow American football, NFL, really, but I always find an excuse to start the week on the back foot on a Monday for Super Bowl Monday, because it's an excuse to get on the Bears at midday on Monday and really battle through the rest of the week. To the weekend. So get into it and come and join us. There's heaps of prizes to give away. I think we're putting a DJ on at the end, so if you want, there's no point in going back to work.
No.
So you might as well just kick on with us. I think DB got a bunch of specials there as well. So text NFL to 3236 for the deets and join us. But you're not joining us, James, because you got something else on. You dating someone else? Are you dating someone else?
I'm going to send a reporter along maybe from Crowd Goes Wild. Well, hopefully we will.
Yeah, we're looking at 400 people. We're going to cram 400 into the sweatshop. It's going to be huge. I hope they've got enough beer. That's all I have to say. And chicken wings.
No, I'll just be working at Crowd Goes Wild, so I'll have to watch the game and edit it as we go. Because it starts at 12:30.
Yes.
And that's a lot of, as you know, there's a lot of Super Bowl ads to get through, which is the main focus of using.
So much admin.
And Rihanna as well. So Rihanna's going to be important to me, then the ads, and then the result. So I'm happy.
And are those your three priorities for Super Bowl?
Yeah. Okay. Rihanna, ads, result.
Yeah.
The result, I'm happy for the Chiefs mana to come through.
So you're claiming Chiefs mana, just through the name?
That's the zone of the Chiefs region as it goes up to Kansas and
through the Waikato okay, I see what you're doing.
Out the
are they going to do
the mouth of the Waikato and then up through and we follow a sort of stream. Then we sort of use a bit of maybe we go through Oceania and just all the way through past Hawaii, and that's obviously ancestral home. And we go, we're acknowledging you, but you don't have an NFL team, so we're going to have to keep going to Kansas.
Nice. We
might actually be able to go up the frickin' Mississippi. Actually,
I'm gonna break away from my Chiefs mana.
Yeah.
Because I watch Always Sunny in Philadelphia. So I talked about it with Matt Heath last week. That's why I'm going to go with the Eagles against your Chiefs for the Super Bowl. But
wait a second.
Yeah.
And also Bradley Cooper is a Kevin Hart. Eagles fans, these are. There's or R.I.P. Kobe Bryant.
Is he an Eagles fan as well?
Yes, he is from Philly, I think.
There was a great Gulliver of Kevin Hart on the sidelines at the one of the games recently.
Was he?
Oh my God!
Everyone Gullivers him though.
Oh my God! I know that's what the caption said. It goes, it's he often gets Gullivered, but it was one of the greats. It was like Frodo and Gandalf type proportions. It was next level.
I'm trying to see.
Right, wide on of the week. Look, I haven't got anything. Nothing gave me a wide on in the sporting week. That's just gone, to be honest. James, we sucked in India. I didn't get to catch any of playoffs, and I spent most of my time bailing out my garage and my next door neighbour's garage over the past week because, it was wet.
Yeah, I've had garage issues as well, and then you watch the news and you go, okay, I've got no issues because that is horrifying. And, it's... Even the story, I watched the story last night on bloody One News, the old Sav at the North Shore Badminton Centre.
Yeah, isn't that the event centre?
No, that's the basketball. That was done as well pretty badly by the floods, but the badminton one was completely it was 2 metres high in the centre.
Jeez. 2 metres?
2 metres.
2 metre Peter. So not even 2 metre Peter, not even Peter Fulton could stand up.
The water line was 2 metres up. They showed it on the side of the building. And it just pretty much ripped through the whole place, all of their cars. And the guy who runs the centre decided at 6 o'clock, I think I better get out of here. and he had to hold on to the fence. He was just above the water was at neck level at that point, and he held onto the fence to get out. And I was thinking,
Jesus.
Holy crap.
How good was the drainage at Eden Park? And just an update too on the ACC Caravan if you're watching the social media.
Yeah, what happened?
Well, we had the caravan there for the Super Bash, which has been postponed to April, and also the G9, which was supposed to be this week. So the caravan was there as a bit of a prop and we were going to do stuff there. So we left it underneath the West Stand, thinking, nothing's no harm, no foul. I actually completely forgot about it and then got a note from Eden Park saying, the caravan's now floating past the West Stand entrance. Do you want us to pull it to higher ground? It's like, yes, please. Can you pull it to higher ground?
And someone did.
And they did. The ground staff there, God bless them. And Blair and the team, they got hold of it.
Just that little drive over the other side?
Yeah. They, God bless them. They got the caravan out and got it to higher ground. But that number 2 field was a lake. The number 1 was close to being a lake. And the next day, beautiful. It's just so. Good on them for resurrecting that. Not so much my local golf course. The Waitemata golf course has still got a massive lake in it. My son went skimboarding on some of it. And
Great golf course.
He was skimboarding with his mates. They went out on Saturday, had a great time, went down there to check on them. One of the ponds was a bit stinky, I must admit, so moved them on. Next day, covered in a rash. One of two things that could have been. Fertiliser, potentially, that got the rash, but I'm thinking it's poos.
And I'm thinking that you guys don't watch the news because on the news they said don't swim with the poos. It said it on the news. So you guys are doing your own thing. It's like, no, we live in Devonport. We're fine.
Hey, Narrowneck.
Hey, that golf course, I'm sure, is in Devonport.
But
is it?
It is in Devonport. But so him and his 4 mates, and he got the rash, and we're like, oh, shit. So he texted a couple of his mates' parents going, hey, have any of your kids got a rash? And they're like, yeah, we're covered in it. So all the kids who went down skimboarding all covered in poos rashes. So moral of the story, stay out of the poos when it floods. And don't let your kids swim in poos.
You're not above the law and you're not above science. So, and you're not above the civil defence emergency. How bad was it getting civil defence emergencies after 2 days later? And I panicked. I was at Jimmy Carr watching some bit of comedy, and I went, oh shit, because my garage had flooded, so I thought I better go. So I left and I went home, and it was absolutely fine. In fact, it didn't rain that night, I don't think, Sunday night.
No. Hey, you know how on Spider-Man, is it Peter Parker gets bitten by the spider?
Yeah.
Maybe my son and all his mates will have some sort of sewage superpower.
They could.
After this.
Pooh Man.
Pooh Man and Wheeze. Bring it back.
Oh, yeah, bring them back. Hey, one thing that we haven't talked about is Tom Brady. Did we talk about Tom?
No.
So he's retired, properly retired. And he just did a little post because he says, I've used up my retirement essay last year. And he was, he choked up a little bit at the end, and he's amazing, like, given that it's 45. And I know he's just got to throw the ball because his game doesn't really require much of the running part. But it's incredible he's lasted this long. But he looks amazing. He looks incredible.
He's in good nick.
He's a handsome 45-year-old. But I've heard that he's had a bit of plastic surgery, including a chin implant. And I'm thinking, how different would my TV career have been if I'd only known about the Tom Brady chin implant?
Chin implant? I don't need any more chin. There's the state of my chin.
Well, no, I think they changed the state, the shape of the chin.
Oh, okay.
It's a shaping of the chin and he's had it done.
I know a lot of people.
Because they showed it before and after, and I think that one is legit.
Right.
So check it out.
Okay, check out before and after Tom Brady chin music. There's a lot of people I know who need a chin, who are chinless wonders. A lot of English people are chinless.
Yeah.
I never trust anyone without a chin. That's my motto.
Or can we maybe check out their cricket team when they arrive and just...
Joe Root, no chin.
Has he got no chin?
He's not no chin. Nice
Chinless
guy, though.
Joe.
Anyway, should we get into the Toppa Plays of the Week?
Yeah.
Toppa Plays of the Week. Brought to you by Leader NZ's Lasagna Toppa.
Hey, I heard a rumour. They're bringing out a southern fried chicken topper.
Yeah.
Anyway, number 3, James McOnie. Tell me what you think this audio relates to. Yeah.
Definitely Matt Heath. So that's Matt Heath, and I've seen his yoga videos, and I was going, that's an unusual warm up, for yoga. But his instructor seems to be fine with it, and I'm just like, okay, well, Matt, you do what you want to do, because it's all about getting to know yourself and getting to know your body, discovering yourself.
Yeah. No, actually, that is the world record fist pump. That's the world record fist pump going on there. So I played again, and this is someone going for the world record fist pumping. Fist pump. Even though it does sound like someone going hammer and tongs on themselves, it is, and they got the world record, so congratulations on that.
Well done.
Number 2 is the great Melody Robinson, who was on the Between Two Beers podcast, heads up sport for TVNZ, and God bless her, she declared...
It makes it sound like you said heads up sport.
Heads up.
She is, she's the head of sport.
Head of sport.
Yeah.
Heads up sport.
It just made it sound like heads up sport for TVNZ.
Heads up sport for TVNZ. She is the head of sport for TVNZ.
Yeah.
And she shares a passion of mine as well. So here's the passion she shares with me.
This is the first ever capping ceremony they've ever had for the Black Ferns. We're all dressed up in our, number 1, looking gorgeous, all of us. It got to Farah Palmer. She was before me. She called her up. And then it got to me, and Brent Impey goes, Melody Robinson, Black Fern number 69. Oh, for God's sakes. And everyone laughed and thought it was hilarious. And I think that Farah Palmer was actually 69.
Yeah.
Or Hannah Porter was somebody who had...
Conspiracy.
Yeah, totally. But I love her.
There you go.
She loves 69. And fair enough, because Mel is she's a great New Zealander.
Oh, she is a great New Zealander. She
really is a legend of our industry in the media. We can put in, I guess, one of her most famous moment in the media, it's inadvertent.
The anal.
We'll cut that bit out, but we will reveal it here. And then we react to it here.
The anal. No, well, we talked about the anal last week, actually, with that. I mean, she was asking for it. Let's be honest. You ask a drunk student, what are they going to get up to on their honeymoon?
He warned her.
I know.
He gave her an out. She could have moved along, and the thing about it is just like...
He goes, can I say it on TV?
Yeah.
Automatically, a drunk student says, do you think I can say it on TV?
But with
Instinctively, you should say, no.
But also, with a twinkle in his eye as well. It's like, I got something good. I got pretty good, but you probably don't want to hear it, do you? And she goes, yeah. And then Oh, goodness. But you know what? Yeah, she's cool. And I agree with you. I reckon that it would have been Farah Palmer or one of the others. And they said, give it to Mel. She can have 69.
She can own 69. Yeah. And the number one Toppa player of the week, as I mentioned before, the Eden Park ground staff. Good on them. Great New Zealanders. They saved the ACC caravan from floating all the way into Kingsland and probably down into the viaduct and out into the ocean. Where some say is where it belongs. But it survived to live another day. You can't kill the caravan. You can't kill the ACC caravan at all.
Don't issue that as a challenge, G Lane, because I feel like we're going to get someone down there with a flamethrower or something while you're... Actually, is the caravan going to turn up to the England series?
Yeah, well, thinking about it, we need to bring it back because I love the caravan. It's got so much... There's a different kind of energy that comes out of the caravan when you're commentating at the ground. So I think we'll look to resurrect it at some stage.
Is there a test at Eden Park?
No.
So that would have been perfect.
Yeah, that would be great.
Or one day at Eden Park.
Yeah, I think there's Sri Lankan T20 at Eden Park. That's about it. I don't think there's a hell of a lot going on at Eden Park, unfortunately. But I was thinking, actually, when the caravan we thought was on its last legs, we wanted to enter it one of those demolition derbies with the caravan on the back.
Oh, yeah.
And just give it one hurrah around like Waikaraka Park or something and just swing around.
No. It's too good for that. I love the caravan, even though I'd like to see that happen. It's still of value.
Yes. No, it is. And it is going to make a comeback throughout Super Rugby as well, I think.
Put it into Toppa.
Yeah. Well, hang it. Well, they've got John Britton's motorbike in there. Why can't we just have the caravan next to that? And they've got our ball in there. They've got our underarm ball in Topapa.
Am I right in thinking that Jeremy Wells will have to do a show nude on Hodaki in the near future?
Yeah, I think they've got a Valentine's promo where you have to vote whether you want Matt or Jeremy nude.
Matt's not going to win.
It's a landslide. It's a landslide. It's a landslide. It's a Jeremy landslide victory. But I don't think Matt's unhappy about that, to be honest.
No, exactly. He's like, oh.
You can sit there while Jerry does the entire show nude. What'll be disappointing, and I mean, if Jerry, knowing Jerry, he'll probably try and do it with a half mongrel just to put Matt off, which would be quite intimidating for most people, I think. Or if you're fully hard for most of it, like Papa Bluey before the show and just do the whole show at full mast.
No, what I think you need to do is you need to, because the studio here is a bit like a Kiwi house, you can see in.
Yeah.
And so I think the foot traffic is going to be immense. And I think you got to capitalise on that. The ACC, we should be running a sausage sizzle out there, and then you let people come through, and they get to have a look at Jerry.
You have to move them on, though. You have to move them on.
You got to move them on, but it's like any museum. You go through, and then, hey, this is it, and then you can say, hey, here's everyone else you can see, and we're all waving, and it's like they want to get another look at Jerry. It's like, no, out you go.
Should we put a little travelator so they can't actually have to move on? So almost like Kelly Tarleton's. So you stand on the little travelator and you go past, and then we can control the numbers.
We could put two, what do you call it, those treadmills in a row.
Yeah, that's a good idea. You just have to go past.
Stand on the treadmill, it takes you. But I think this is something we need to do and monetize. So we need to set up a stall outside Jerry's nude broadcast.
Yes, well, he's right by the window too. So
I don't think you can't have freebies out there. I think we shut off the window.
Yep. Oh, okay.
And you bring them into a controlled environment.
You could turn it into a peep show. You could
Yeah, you go... Yeah. Actually, you're right. You go peep show over there. You can get a close-up look because that's the arse end of him.
Yes.
And so you say, we'll do a peep show on that side, but it's extra.
Yeah.
If you want to go through the museum, Kelly Tarleton's view, then it's just, we'll do it that way.
It's just bog standard. Maybe we can raise money for a charity because that's always a good angle for getting away with things.
Yeah.
Obviously, we'll take a management fee off the top of it and then give the rest to Movember.
It's got to be a sausage sizzle though, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we can do that.
And meatballs.
Yep, sausages and meatballs, and then come along on the, what is it? It's Valentine's Day.
It's Valentine's Day. So, Feb, what's that, 14th?
Feb 14th, yeah, that's right. Put it in your calendar.
Feb 14th. What's that, a Wednesday? Yeah, I think it's a Wednesday. So, yeah, that's a good idea. We'll update you next week on the agenda of how the Wells Peep Show on off-site activation is going to go and how much tickets are. But until then, we'll see you next week.
You've been listening to the ACC's Agenda podcast. For more episodes, subscribe on iHeartRadio or wherever you get your podcasts.